Time for a Hollar haul. It says fragile. Let's hope that everything is okay in here. And let's check out what it is. I have this standing on top of a cabinet that has to go into my kitchen. I'm in my dining room now, but don't have a lot of areas to work in right now because everything is so torn up. So let's see what I have in here. I saw these Conair brand sponge curlers and I decided to get those. Kind of spatula wooden spoon thing. I got that. That was $1. This Baker's Secret offset spatula. I do a lot of, if you saw my Amazon haul and I showed you the Russian tips, I do a lot of cake decorating and baking when I have a kitchen. And so I love these, and so they had this, it was really cheap, I think it was $1. Couldn't pass that up. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Wow, this order came really fast. I feel like I just ordered this. I think there's orders that haven't shipped before this. I don't know. I feel like I just ordered this the other day. Oh, and there's something else I got at the Dollar Tree. I got a purple vase here. This vase, I forgot I had this one on the way, is a Hallmark one. But my kids, I grow a lot of perennials, and plus there's a lot of daisies and wildflowers that we have up here. They're always picking me bouquets, and I'm always like looking for something, and even more so now because there's nothing in this house. So Be You Every Single Day. This is from Hallmark, and it Be You Every Single Day. I thought it was cute. I think it was $2 Hallmark, and so I got it. And I did get a purple vase at the dollar store. I had to get a clip of that. I put that in my purse so it wouldn't break after she passed it. Let me see what's here. Makeup organizer. And so all of this stuff is so fragile. Let's see. So far it looks like nothing was broken. I got these magnets from American Greetings, I think they are. These are the Sockety Doo Day. Yeah, they're from American Greetings. And they're these magnets: life is an adventure, follow your heart, love it, peace and friendship. They were, I think, $1. Let me see. I'm going to turn this off for a minute and try to unpack this breakable stuff. All of this stuff like so crazy all together like this. All right, let me see what else is in there. Oh, that's what this was. I thought something broke. It's this. Oh, this is so cute. Let me see here. This is Baby Beverly Hills Teddy Bear Company, and it's a little soft fire engine. Isn't that adorable? It's adorable. And then I got this. This is bigger than I thought. This pouch came in different colors. And I can even put my iPad in it. So, has a zippered top. There's a tab over here, so I got that. I think that was like $1 or $2. Oh, see, I did get one of these because I got the heart-shaped ones. You see, that order came so fast. This was the other organizer, the makeup organizer. So I got that one. Alright guys, so if you know me and you've watched my videos, you know that I tell you I struggled a long time with overbuying things, having my house filled up with a bunch of things, and I have purged all of that. And so I only buy things that are necessary or that I really love or that really, you know, inspire me, do something, mean something to me, something like that. So I saw these, and these were on Hollar. These are from Hallmark. So these say, look for hope, try your wings, believe in love and all good things. And I just think that's a very good saying on something I will hang up and display. And this was $14.95 originally, and I think it was $3 or $4 at the most, I don't know. This vase I showed you before, inside it's $14.95. I really like the Hallmark stuff that they have. And then this, I absolutely love this. I totally believe in this saying, and I totally love the colors of this. I think I'm going to put this somewhere in my new kitchen. And it's good because I have very little wall space around my cabinets in my new kitchen, but I do have like little tiny pieces on some ends. And I think this is going to be perfect, and it's going to be in a place where I'm always going to see it. The colors on it inspire me, everything. I mean, it's just, I love the way it's done totally with the arrow. I totally believe that people will always look for an excuse. You know, a lot of times I'm an entrepreneur. When I talk to my entrepreneur partners and friends, and we always say, what is wrong with people? Why do they always find an excuse? It's because they're afraid to fail. And I teach, and you know, I'm a motivational coach in that respect as well, and I have courses about it. You have to fill your life with people that are like you, with people that want to reach outside, not that are just, you know, happy building someone. Sorry about that, guys. My camera died right in the middle of that, but I don't know where I was with this, but there are so many people that fear everything. Or the other thing that really gets me, you know, upset is when, you know, there's challenges in life, and especially in business, you could be doing really, really, really well in your business, and something can happen, and it could seem like, oh my gosh, it's the end of your business, okay? But that's the time when you think of a new strategy. That's the time when you don't give up. If you're doing something really, really good, well, then do you just throw in the towel? Of course, there was another way. There's going to be another way. And that's why there is always a way, always. And it means with anything. It's not just in business, it's in life. You know, do you want to own your own house? There's always a way. Do you want to go to college? Do you want to get your degree? Whatever it is, you can do it. There's always a way. That way, for the most part, is not going to be easy. I mean, it's true. Anything worthwhile is not easy. Getting your college degree is not easy. I finished my college degree when I was pregnant for my 5th child, working full-time in an entertainment and production company as the national sales manager. And I took off only 3 weeks after one child was born, worked all the way through in school. I didn't go back to work. I started to work from home at that point, but I worked and went to school, and I graduated when I was 8 months pregnant with the baby after that baby. So anybody that wants to do something can. There is always a way for whatever it is, but it takes hard work. And that's what I find a lot of people don't want to put in. They want the easy way out. They want the easy thing. They want the handout. They want to feel pity party, sorry for me. And, you know, I could go on, and I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anyone. That's not what it is. But it's, I don't know if you ever listened to Les Brown. If you've never listened to Les Brown, you should give him a listen to. Because anybody can inspire a person, he can. What he overcame. They said he was mentally retarded. They said he would never learn. Go see what Les Brown has accomplished if you don't follow him at all. But he's amazing. He's an amazing motivational speaker. He's an amazing businessman. And he's the one that says, you know, birds of a feather flock together. Not everyone has this drive. Not everyone has this, and you have to understand that, and you have to bless and release. And, you know, painfully it is. Sometimes you want to help people so much, and you try and you do it for them. And I've done that for people. I've tried to do things for them, and you can't. They have to do it for themselves. And you say, well, how come I'm showing them? You know, they can have the money, they can get their own home. They just, you know, but they're just not there because they just don't want to sacrifice things. Like, I don't watch TV. I don't. If I watch a movie now and then on Netflix, that's about it. there are sacrifices I make. There are sacrifices I make. Some people say, well, I would never give up my favorite show, never. Well, you know, but they're the same ones that say to me, oh my gosh, you're going on an all expense trip to Florida, to that island, and that's all because of your blog. Well, you're so lucky. And it's like, it's not luck. First of all, I am blessed, yes, and I will never forget that. But there is so much hard work that goes into it, and you don't want to do it, okay? Because you want to watch your TV show, and you want to, you know, hang out with your friends, whatever it is. There are sacrifices to get where I have. And so when people say, oh my gosh, you got that, or you got this, or they sponsored you for this, or you're the spokesperson for that, you're the brand ambassador for this brand. Yes, because I work damn hard, you know? So there is always a way, always. And I mean, my daughter is just a remarkable person, and I think I've instilled that in her, and she goes above and beyond in everything. She's volunteers. She works full-time as a bridges and tunnels analyst for the MTA in Manhattan, and yet she still goes to the hospital every Wednesday night and volunteers 3 hours of her time. She volunteers she's volunteered as a big sister. She's volunteered as Hobie, which is the youth ambassador program, which changed her life in 10th grade, and made her the person she is today, you know, along with our race, but I mean, just got her into a life of leadership, giving back. She's always run blood drives. You know, yeah, she could say, hey, I work full time, I'm tired, I've got these transit things I go to after work, and that could be it for me. But no, she goes and she's always giving back. She runs marathons, she she cycles in bike races. She's always doing something. She ran the New York City Marathon, but she's always giving back. And I think it's so important. And you know, after all, this is not a dress rehearsal. What are we saving ourselves for? Why don't we go out and do the best that we can do and make a real positive difference, because it's what we're going to leave behind. It's what we're going to leave behind for our families and everyone else. It's our legacy. And, you know, why not make it a tremendous one and really make your mark in this world? So anyway, I know that's a long roundabout thing to talk about this, but I love this. And I love the colors even more in person. It is so beautiful. I think I want to get one of these. I don't know if they still have them. If they do, I want to order one for my daughter and maybe some more as gifts. It is just beautiful. And the regular price on that is $16.95. Lines is another one, and this is Follow Your Heart, It Knows the Way. It's another one that's near and dear to me, and your heart does know the way, and you know, follow it. It knows the way. $14.95. And so I really like that. And I got these, and these are tremendous buys because I'm actually I can buy wholesale from the company that sells a lot of this Marvel stuff because I have my business license to do that. And I bought my husband the Fender guitar cups like this, and I can tell you that, you know, the retail price on them is way, way more than this, and even the wholesale price. So these, I think, were $5. Were they $5 for the set of 4? And the kids are going to love these. Got these for our new kitchen. And so you've got Thor, you've got Iron Man, you've got Captain America and the Hulk. 4-piece glasses, Marvel Comics. And they're good quality glasses. So these are an excellent, excellent, excellent buy, and I'm trying to see if they have a regular price on them. They don't, but I can tell you they're much more than this. I have one more thing from the Hallmark line, and I hope it's just in 2 pieces, which I think it is, and that it's not broken, because this is one of my really favorite things that I want to put in my new bathroom. So let me pop it out. Yes, it's fine, guys. I'm so glad that it's fine. I'm just going to get this set up here. This is so pretty, and it's going to go so lovely in my new powder room. And I think, again, this is another saying that really speaks to me. I know it speaks to others in my family. And I try to get this to my kids, my youngest and my younger ones and my older ones. And I'm so sorry for all of the boxes and everything from the kitchen behind me. But this says, "It is only in the darkness that we can see the stars." Okay, so, you know, I always say your darkest hours right before dawn. And don't get me wrong, I get upset about things, of course. But then you got to really think, you know, the darkest hours right before dawn. I've gone through a lot of things. I've lost both of my parents in less than a year, okay? My son, my teenage son, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And we had no history of cancer. Thank God, knock on wood, he's going on being a 6-year survivor. And, you know, just incredibly blessed. But at the same time, going through some really, really tough things. And, you know, that's not all. You know, we all go through tough things. Some of us tougher than others. And, you know, a lot of people are going through things now. So I just think this saying, "It is only in the darkness that we can see the stars." You know, I think it speaks, sometimes we go through dark areas of our life, but it's for a reason. Like, you know, God works it all together for our good. And sometimes we can't see it, and sometimes it takes a long time to see it. And sometimes we're fighting so hard for something that we think is what needs to be in our life, but it's not the thing that needs to be in our life. You know what I mean? If it's even a relationship or whatever it is, and then, you know, the right thing comes along and it makes it clear what it was. Or maybe, you know, especially if someone becomes, oh, I don't know, let's say they go through tremendous addiction, okay? Addiction, and in the family, maybe the parents are wondering, why do we have to go through this with our child? Why does our child have to go through this? You know, why is this happening to us? What's wrong with us? Didn't we raise them right or whatever? But their child may be the child that gets out of that addiction and makes their life so much more and makes such a difference in the world, all because of that horrendous experience, all because of that horrendous hold that it had on their life. And then they become someone who either works in the field of addiction. I don't even know when that stopped, but what I was saying is, you know, maybe they get back, and because of that addiction that they had to suffer, you know, that they suffered, that they went through, and that, of course, their family went through with them, and all of that heartache and everything, that it was for a greater purpose, because it brought them to a place that maybe they would have never dreamed of working in medicine in that field, or working as a counselor in that field, or reaching out to young people in that field. And you see sometimes, I don't like to watch the news because it's negative, and I really don't watch a lot of TV, but sometimes you see those stories, you know, those stories of people that are just doing things. And so one about this guy that's working like in the inner city of, I don't know if it was Chicago or wherever it was a bad area where most of the kids either fall victims of drugs or crime, or they're in jail. And he gave every, you know, bit of himself to train these kids to box and give them an outlet other than the streets. And he was making a really big difference. And you look at that, you know, there is no fame, there isn't, but his heart and everything that's in that. So, like I said, whatever it is that takes you, maybe, you know, you might know somebody that's been in jail. Maybe they have a drug charge. I'm not talking about, you know, even anything violent or anything, but maybe they've gotten messed up with drugs. Maybe they got messed up with, I don't know, something, and they were in jail for a few years, and they got out, and they totally changed their life because of that experience. Now, when they were going through it, it probably brought them and their families and everything through absolute hell. Maybe they thought at one time nobody would want them because they were in jail and their life was over. Maybe they thought they'd never get married, they'd never have children, whatever it is. But then when you hear the stories, you see some most remarkable people, and you find out what their past was like, it's amazing. And you'd think, oh, well, that person must have had like a wonderful life and they were this big success. But even these overnight successes, they are not overnight. And a lot of the people that make it far went through incredible hardships to get there. And like I said, even had like really, really horrible things like addiction, or being in jail, or, you know, being abused. It just, crazy things, and some people think, okay, if I didn't have the idyllic childhood, if I didn't have that Norman Rockwell family, I can't be the best person because I didn't get that love. I lost out on something. I can never be healed from that. And I will tell you, my husband had a lot of, he was ripped away from his biological real father. He was thrust into family life that was not good due to a stepfather, and I mean really not good. And yet his father and his uncle, they were rocket scientists, and I truly mean this. They've written books on electrophoton disruption, all this kind of stuff. And he was ripped away from that. At 4 years old, he was told to go say something to his father that meant, I don't want to live with you again. And this is something he didn't even know. It was something that he was told to say. And then he was thrust in this life where he was abused badly, okay? Of course, he told me there was some good times, great, but he was abused badly, so much so that he ran away at 13 and would rather be in a juvenile detention center on his 13th birthday than be in his house, okay? And maybe some people would say, oh, he'll never amount to anything, and that's what he thought. He thought when he was in college, and he went back to college after, falling a victim of drugs and things, because, this was back in the 70s, and because my husband is older than me, so he's like 12 years older than me. So it was a time when that was so rampant, but, he was getting into trouble and this and that. And probably, everybody's going to say he's never going to amount to anything. Well, do you know, he did, okay? He got in trouble and he had a lot of bad breaks and stuff, but he went back to college. He went to graduate school. He graduated with a Master's of Mathematical Sciences. And then he became a professor in a college prep boarding school that took care of, that was for children with, who were very intelligent, but they had either drug problems or oppositional disorder, just, things like that, high risk. What am I trying? There's the word I'm trying. I can't think of it. So he gave back in that life, and when people hear his story, like they say, "Oh, you should write a book on that," and he really should. But he wants to write a book on string theory. Like I said, the rocket scientist in him, even though he was taken away from his father, even though he was taken away from his uncle, he connected with his uncle and his aunt. His father, unfortunately, had passed away later in life, and yet the genetics, it was still there because he had this predisposition to do this math that I'm telling you that people can't even fathom what he can do, and all of the theories and everything. But he had ADHD very bad as a child. It was never diagnosed. So he wasn't a learner. Like, he went to a Catholic school where it was very rigid, right? And he wasn't that type of a learner. So of course he didn't fit in there. And back then, they were made to feel stupid. So when he was going through recovery, when he got sober, over, I don't know how many, 30 years ago now or something, he thought, like, when he was going through things, like, well, maybe because I was deprived of that wonderful childhood and all that stuff, maybe something's so broken in me that I can't be, and someone told him, no, that's not true. You can get that. You can't just say you didn't have that. So maybe there are some things you need to learn. Maybe there are some things you need in yourself. And, I think sometimes I can see that. Sometimes he'll think he's not worthy of something, or I don't know what it is. But yeah, you can still see it. And it's like, no, you have to tell yourself, no, you are. So anyway, this turned into way more than a holler haul. And I'm sorry. It's probably because I'm like PMSing and I'm really emotional. I don't know. But sorry about this, guys, because I didn't intend for this to be like this, but I really like this, this boat. I really just think it just speaks to anybody that's going through a hard time. So this was $24.95, and I just really love it. And like I said, I think I'm going to put it on I have a really long vanity in my powder room, and it's blue and white. The bathroom is not the vanity. And I think it'll look perfect, and I think it's something that'll speak to anybody that goes in there. And maybe if someone's using the powder room, you know, a guest of mine or something, maybe they are going through a dark time, maybe this will speak to them, you know. And the stars are there, and the stars can come back out, you know, and brighten up their life. And so anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go. That's my Hollar haul here. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and leave me a comment, and I will follow you back. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone. Take care.